Hey peeps, Jess here, and today I'm going to show you some of my favorite moisturizers and skincare for living with dyshidrotic eczema. For those of you who dyshidrotic eczema is a new term, is a type of eczema in which you get teeny tiny little blisters on your hands and feet. They can be quite itchy, quite painful, but for me I found having a really locked in hyper moisturizing skincare regimen makes such a huge difference. So I'm hoping for those of you with eczema or with dyshidrotic eczema, this is really helpful. I also have dry skin, sensitive skin, and I'm sun sensitive. So for those of you who that's a concern, these are also pretty spiffy. So let's dive in, shall we? First, it's my eczema holy grail, the one where I should really buy stock in the company already. It's Atopalm. Now, Atopalm is one where I have kind of an interesting history with it. I got recommended this guy by Amy from Fine Line Seattle. I'll link her below because she's awesome. And it is the best, most soothing, deep moisturizing cream I found on the market for just general skincare. It has the barest of scents. It is one of those little goes a long way. Basically, don't leave home without it if you have eczema. I found it is really amazing for the eczema on my hands and just an all-around bit of awesome. It does have a light scent, but honestly, I can barely smell it when it's on, and I live in this. We go through like 1 jar a month. It's that bad. My only real problem is actually that this is the biggest size you can get. So I would love to buy giant tubs that I could basically wallow in. I can't, and that's frustrating. Also, one thing I really like is that if you buy from their website directly, they will send you these little guys as samples. Yes, they're not as eco-friendly as I'd like, but this way you can have a little one to shove in your purse for skincare emergencies, and so these are pretty spiffy just to have because this is a lot to put in your purse. Speaking of things to put in your purse, my number 2 is from Fresh, my hand cream. This is Fresh's Seaberry Nourishing Hand Cream. Say that 5 times fast. And it is even thicker than Atopalm, and this is for skincare emergencies where I've been washing my hands too much, because there's nothing like overwashing your hands to make eczema flare up. This guy has the most scent of anything that I use, but what I found is I can't smell it once my hand's this far away from my face. Number 3 is kind of a shocker for me because honestly, it's one where I don't use it the way you might think. First Aid Beauty's Ultra Repair Face Moisturizer. We got this guy in a kit a while back, more on those in a little bit, and I didn't like it actually at the time. So what I did is I was trying it out other spots, and it turned out this guy is amazing for eczema on your feet, specifically eczema between your toes. This is hand and foot eczema. We're gonna talk about hands and feet. And oh my goodness, I don't know what magic is in this, but it's just the right type of moisturizer to make foot eczema almost disappear. I have felt blisters go from a little bit of pain, some itchiness, to nothing in like an hour. It won't fully remove the eczema, but it is faster acting than my eczema flare-up cream. Like, what even is this? It's a freaking foot miracle worker, that's what it is. I found it works best if I have about an hour where every few minutes or so I apply a super thin layer and really massage it in, and that's just the miracle it needs. It works. Now, on those kits, what they do that I think is the best way to buy this little guy here is to buy their kits. They have them out every few months or so. They rotate through what they are, but usually for about 50 bucks, you can get this puppy here and a bunch of other moisturizers. So it's a huge screaming deal almost every time they come out. Number 4, nail oil. I apply mine in pen form because this is the way I remember to apply it, but really any nail oil is going to be really great for just functionality. I found that my eczema likes to flare up on my fingertips, and especially kind of near where hangnails are forming. Everyone's favorite thing, right? And so if I can keep my hangnails and sort of skincare around here under control, I'm just a lot happier, and when you're less stressed, you have less eczema, at least for most people, because stress is a really common trigger for us eczema folks, right? I use these guys from Bliss Kiss. This is a Simply Pure line, and you just wipe it on and rub it in. That's about it. What really matters to me here are zero hangnails and getting a bit more oil along a lot of my early flare-ups. Number 5, last but not least, Camellia Oil. So Camellia Oil is kind of tangential. I'm really using it on my scalp because I found that anything that impacts sleep impacts stress, which impacts my eczema. So I actually bought Camellia Oil for the first time for my face. It didn't work. I was expecting it to because I tried it before and it was great. This time though, nah. And I didn't want this wonderful stuff to go to waste, and so I tried giving myself a scalp massage, and oh my goodness, my scalp was so happy. And so I've been using it ever since. The downside with this guy is that it's pricey. Oh my goodness. And on top of that, this particular one that I've been using from Julie Hewitt is really, really liquidy. Like, I've been trashing my desk with it. I will say my current recommendation is actually for Blossom Jeju's Camellia Oil. And it's just a thicker, easier to work with formula for me. But yeah, it's such a game changer to have your scalp not wake you up in the middle of the night. I will let you know. So those are some of the goos that I use to keep my skin in fighting shape against my eczema. They all have their benefits, but I have not had a major outbreak in a decade, and I do think that they've made a major impact on that. So I hope you get to try them out, because maybe they'll do the same for you, and that would be freaking awesome. With that, I would love to hear from you in those comments below. What skincare do you use for your eczema? I found out recently that like cheek patches might be a thing for people with nummular eczema. So there's so much out there that we should all be talking about and learning from each other on. And with that, I'll catch you lovely peeps next time.